Outer Edge Games.
Alright everybody, there was a competition going on not too long ago for a self-contained TCG, and I don't know what happened to it. The competition kind of disappeared, but I had already started building one, so I thought I would just continue it. And here is my very, very rough alpha level demo. It is missing some stuff. It is missing a rule sheet. It is missing a life counter. But this is all contained within one box of 52 cards. I think the competition was 54 cards for some reason. I guess you know, a deck would hold 54, but I think the defaults for most online printers like POD companies is 52. So I built it to 52. So the way this game works is you start with a hero. We have 4 heroes. Sorry, yeah, 4 heroes. Let me zoom in on these so you can see them. We have a thief, a hero number 4, which I haven't developed yet, a warrior, and a wizard that I named Yargo. So just because Yargo is got a name, or has a name I should say, we will go with Yargo. So Yargo is our hero. This is our adventurer that's going to adventure through a dungeon. As you see here, there is a dungeon deck. So what we do is we shuffle this dungeon deck. Where's my shuffle? We shuffle the dungeon. Oh, sorry. I already messed up. Search. There is a starting dungeon icon right here. Starting dungeon icon and an ending dungeon icon. So you take out the starting dungeon icon, you leave the ending one in the deck. You move your dungeon deck over here, we shuffle that up, and you take the first card and flip it over. Now if you see here, there are doorways that lead to different areas. You line it up to your existing dungeon, and your adventurer adventures through to that room. Right now they all have this question mark icon in them. The idea with that is that should be either an encounter or non-encounter. Might even be like a treasure option where you only get a treasure instead of having to draw from the encounter deck. The encounter deck is full of monsters and rewards. So now that our adventure has started in this dungeon and moved forward, we have a random encounter. We shuffle up the encounter deck, and it's only one encounter. You see there's one icon there. We draw off the top card, and we have encountered a goblin miscreant. Okay, now let me explain to you how their stats work here. We'll zoom in so it's easier to see. So if you look here at Yargo, he has, or they have, a fireball, sparkle, healing word, invisible shield, and force field. And they roll dice to see which of those abilities gets triggered. At the same time, the Goblin Miscreant rolls their dice to see which of theirs get triggered. They have an attack 1, attack 2, and defense 1. Yes, I don't have a creative name for it yet, but that's how it's starting. So, to do so, to keep it in one self-contained normal-sized deck box, we have a dice deck of 8 cards. So you shuffle that deck. The way it is right now, your hero always has initiative. First initiative, I should say. So your hero will draw off the top card. The goblin will draw off the second card, and you will flip the cards and see what you each did. So Yargo has a 3, which is sparkle, so he's going to attack the goblin for 2 according to his stats here, right? You rolled a 3, that's a 2 attack. The goblin rolled a 1. The 1 is a counter attack of 2. So now once I have the health counter cards, which are not designed yet, the health counter cards will tuck in behind your hero and your villain here, or your monster or whatever, and slowly get, let me show you here, how do I tuck that underneath? It's not tucking. There we are. So the card would tuck underneath. I thought U was supposed to tuck underneath, but I guess not. No, get off of there. Get off of there. There we are. So you would tuck it underneath and slowly reveal how much damage that creature is taking. Once that has been resolved, flip the cards back over, put them back in the deck, and shuffle again. So now the Goblin Miscreant took the 2 damage, so it's down to 8. Yargo goes down to 19, and you would draw off the next 2 cards. Oh, they both drew 3s. So yes, 3s and 4s are doubled up in this deck. They're the middle numbers. They do the kind of generic moves, or the weaker moves for most of them. So both having drawn a 3, the Goblin Miscreant defends 2, so it takes away 2 from any attack on it, and Yargo hits for 2. So it's a wash, no damage through that round. Obviously, there has been zero balancing done because maybe this battle should last longer, maybe it should last shorter. Who knows? Oh, there we are, 6. Great. So Yatago did a fireball, which is a 6 attack. We know the goblin is defending at a -2, so that hits for 4. So this goblin was, if we had the health counter, he's down 6 now, so he's at 4 health. Okay? We will speed through this. We're not going to finish off fighting this entire goblin, but once the goblin is dead, this is a part I haven't developed yet for sure. Either the goblin goes back into the encounter deck or is relegated to the side. I think they're relegated to like the conquered, if you want to call them conquered, the defeated creatures. And we draw off the next goblin, or the next goblin, the next dungeon. The next dungeon, we rotate it again, and we can put it on any edge here. As of right now, the progress through the dungeon does not affect anything other than being a little creative, giving you something fun to do. Again, these are all encounter decks, or encounter cards. I haven't done anything other than play around with the rockery around it. So everyone here is going to have an encounter, draw off the next card, flip it. Oh, it's another goblin. That's lovely. Let's see what the next one was. Oh, there we are. So here's our big baddie, actually. There's a warlock. There's only one in the deck. Much harder to defeat. Again, we would shuffle up the dice deck and draw a card. Now the only thing, another thing I was contemplating was, do we put, after the hero draws, do we put that card back in and shuffle again? So there's a chance for the warlock to draw 2, because you know, if once Yatago draws a 6, let's say, we know that the warlock cannot draw 6. Is that okay? Is it not? I don't know. But either way, that is the basics of how this plays out. We would keep going through the dungeon until we get to, let me get to it here and I'll show you. Oh, don't tell me it's going to be right at the bottom. What are the chances of that? There is a prize. There, this one, the chalice card. So we have 3 cards left, and the chalice card now shows us. We would put that at the end, and that is our final, victory. Our hero has made it through the dungeon, claimed the reward at the end, and completed the quest. There are, in the encounter deck, other cards such as amulets that give you perpetual extra strength and healing potions, as of right now. Will there be more? Sure. The whole idea with it is that you build the idea is you either build a single-player campaign for yourself to play, or you build a game for your friend to play. Let's say you each build encounter decks and dungeon decks for the opponent to play. I think it would be developed with numbers for how many of certain things you could have. For example, the warlock, because of their strength, you would say you're only allowed 1 warlock in a deck, or 1 creature of this strength in a deck. Like there would be some sort of denomination that, maybe it's a color code or something that says this is the only, you can only have 1 of these per deck, and whatnot. Limited deck sizes, of course. As you know, I don't like multiple decks, but this is really the only way to fit it all into one, carry with you type package. And I think it does lend itself well to expandability, actually. And I'll get into that later on once I've figured out how this plays and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think. I haven't thrown it up on TTS yet, even though this is my TTS demo. It's not officially on my TTS workshop, but I will if people want to play around with it. Just give me their thoughts. It's obviously, like I said, very, very early stages. I mean, this is just iconography, no art or anything. But I kind of like the road it's going down. It feels a little bit, not hacked together or hokey, but a little bit interesting, I guess. It's different. I don't think I've seen anything like this before. Let me know what you guys think. And if you're so inclined, help me get through this. This seems like it's just a fun kind of side project while I do all my other artwork and stuff. I'd like to, just throw something like this together kind of for fun. I've got other games coming that I've spent much more time working on. This is kind of just a throw together fun thing, but I think it's a neat little adventure sort of thing to make available to people. Let me know in the comments or message me direct if you have my contact info, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Bye.